Radiant team ban.
Hello and welcome to the DreamLeague Season 13 closed qualifiers. This is the major group stages for the EU region. My name is Nomad and joining me is Milan as we get into Wind and Rain versus Viking here in these qualifiers.
Hello, man. I'm excited to be part of this EU qualifier,
10 seconds
even
remaining.
just for a bit. Many of these teams that are
5
kind of
seconds
unknown,
remaining.
they have some good players. They can show some solid Dota.
Yeah,
all around.
absolutely. I mean, Wind and Rain and Viking, they were both at ESL Hamburg, maybe trying to make a bit of a name for themselves there. Didn't really get too far. I think Wind and Rain had a little bit of success, but overall it was pretty much pretty low placements in those tournaments as expected. But still, they're trying, they're working hard this season and getting lots of exposure in these close qualifiers to try and come out with a win here. So, and against each other is probably the most important and likely time for them to be able to get some wins here and possibly earn enough to get through those group stages and get into those minor qualifiers or maybe even the major playoffs.
Viking GG though has the completely different lineup from the ESL, where the Wind and Rain has exactly the same. And Wind and Rain, I would say they had a good showing at the ESL. They passed group, they play main stage.
Yeah.
So they show some good Dota and show they can fight against good teams on a big stage, which is always
10 seconds
very
remaining.
hopeful. For their group, I'm watching the standings. They're
5
both
seconds
on the
remaining.
bottom of their group,
Yeah.
and this is actually they both cannot make it to the major, but they can do to the minor, which is so important for these teams. Just making it out of groups and playing another qualifier gives you a lot of experience on its own. Yet along, if you manage to qualify, it can really wake your team up. Anyway, back to the game.
Leaves just. Oh no, yeah, because the minor. So the way it works is first and second place in the groups, they go to the major playoffs.
Yeah, major double elimination.
Yeah, and then the
guess.
third place goes to the minor playoffs.
10 seconds
Yes, the 2 third places,
5 seconds
and maybe
remaining.
I think
two third places for sure.
It says A4 and B4 in the minor qualifiers, which suggests that it's actually not the
Fourth place team from each group will play a best of 3 to decide who advances to V play
Dire team
Bukovel minor.
Yeah, okay, so third place
Radiant
gets a free
team
pass to the
ban.
minor, but doesn't play any more games, basically. That's very weird. All right, and then fourth place has to play a playoff game against the other fourth place position, which decides the
Yeah,
the
so
three teams going to the
they basically need to not be last. So this is very important for them. Yeah, they will be 2 third place teams, 1 fourth place, and
10
whichever team
seconds
doesn't make it to the
remaining.
major playoffs. So yeah, this is
5
pretty
seconds
important that
remaining.
they start things off with who had a first pick. Yeah, the first pick was the
Viking.
Crystal Maiden.
Yeah. First pick
It's a
CM. What a
pretty
world we
classical
live in.
I mean, CM is just kind of has gotten so many buffs in last, I would say, 6 months,
Dire
from some
team ban.
base attack improvements to damage improvements, then some aura changes and some Q changes.
Yeah, speed
So
buffs
many
as well.
buffs stacked up, and now it's just a very nice overall hero. It's strong in lane, it's strong in the game, gives aura. Everyone farms faster, has a nice ultimate, has a team fight ability, has a somewhat of a stun.
10
Has
seconds remaining.
everything all around, and it's really nice hero to open the draft with.
5
And then
seconds
we have on
remaining.
the Wind and Rain, we have a Vengeful Spirit and Puck, 2, let's say, meta heroes in this how many days? 4 days of new patch. These are like the meta heroes. Like Venge is just the aura is strong and it's like easy to build around, and Puck is just this amazing hero, which is so hard to catch and can be played on 4 positions, 5, 4, 3, and 2. So if you have like a second pick, you can flex around. You can do many interesting stuff with this pick. So it's understandable why they got it.
Pick.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have Viking going for the Iocopter combination. Gyrocopter and I are picked up with one another. This hero has not been super popular. We've seen it banned a couple of times. You know, people still wary of it, but the Io actually coming out into play is a bit of a surprise. Now, Beastmaster is going to be Viking's last pick, and Wind and Rain will grab Weaver to finish off their draft. So things looking pretty aggressive from the side of Wind and Rain here, looking to go for a pretty high-paced lineup. Meanwhile, Viking going more traditional with a Kunkka to hold down the tempo in the middle lane and the Gyrocopter and Io just to farm up as hard as they can and try and get themselves online as quickly as possible. Out of those two drafts, which one are you kind of more preferring here, Milan?
I mean, if I could choose which draft to play, I would probably choose the Viking GG. But it's two different things teams are aiming. I would say the laning phase will decide a lot. If Viking GG has nice, like, let's say they don't lose the
10
laning phase,
seconds
they'll have
remaining.
a lot of advantage on the Wind and Rain. But
5 seconds
Wind and Rain,
remaining.
for sure, with this draft has a lot of chances of like snowballing the game with the Weaver battle and the Banjora for the Roshan and pushing.
Yeah, I think
But,
there's going to be a lot of pressure on Tanner, on the Kunkka, to have to kind of control the tempo of this game. He can't let Wind and Rain start finding this momentum and start pushing forwards on top of them, you know? He's got to have to control them. My one concern for Wind and Rain is their ability to take objectives is looking very weak right now.
And they're only, I mean, their tower push comes from Venge and Abaddon. It's actually enough to take tier 1 towers. But later, you're right. It's gonna be a bit harder when it comes to tier 2s and tier 3s. And if Viking GG can just buy time and get this Io Gyro fat, and with the Beastmaster auras, they should be able to, like, at some point just group up and be this unstoppable ball, which Wind and Rain, I'm sorry, will have hard time dealing with.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very telling this game as well, depending on which teams can hit their timings, and especially Roshan, fighting over that is going to be absolutely key in this one, so should be a good game, I think, but both teams with very different timings can sometimes also be a bit of a not so backwards and forwards game. Just one team's winning, one team's winning, one team's winning, one mistake, and then the other team just comes out and starts kicking ass. So hopefully it's not one of those just U-turn games, because those
for battle.
generally not quite as fun.
You're all washed up.
I'm quite interested in how this mid lane will go.
Man overboard.
Puck versus Kunkka. I feel like it should be a wash, but also feel like maybe Puck could do something with very aggressive plays. And
Tanner gets the ward down in mid, despite there being an opposing ward there, but they didn't quite see him. He stayed just far back enough to not get caught placing that observer ward there, so nicely done. Yeah, I think we've seen a couple of Kunkka versus Pucks at mid. Generally, the Kunkka comes out favored in this lane. It's just so much harass for the Puck to be able to, you know, can't really dodge anything out with phase shift. No real kill potential, but still just pretty annoying for the Puck.
could also get punished by this CM if he decides to rotate from the bottom lane. Interesting laning setup. Winner kind of has to win this lane with this Weaver 10th pick. I mean 22. They kind of have to snowball the lanes, as we said. And bottom lane
taking a lot of harass here, Nico, as they get chased down by RMS and Shad, using that heavy missile just to force him off that bounty rune. Meanwhile, was that a board denying a rune down here? Or oh no, Boogie was just leaving that one up at the top. So, yep, it's going to be nice and even. 2 for 2 on the bounties. Everything as expected.
Interesting pickup on Nikwa. He has a Blightstone, low one.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
gonna try to harass, but interesting choice. But from my experience, it doesn't really work out very well. These heroes. Io already has 3 armor. It's not like an old Io. It has 0 armor, and the difference between like having 0 armor and 1 armor is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those kind of, it stacks.
Nikwa is in trouble.
Oh dear, there comes a stun. Doesn't have the level 2, so no Rocket Barrage coming out though, as Nico will be saved by Boogie with that Athletic Shield. Everything's going to be okay for now. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Tanner going very far into the tower, just trying to get as much harass onto Wish as possible here, but also going to be tanking up the tower a little bit. And just making sure he can get the range creep deny there by playing with the torrent. Very nicely done in the middle lane. Did you know Tanner is a British player?
Of course. I've been told of every single potential professional British player by the T governor himself.
Yeah, very important. He's doing God's work. Thanks, T.
Yeah, you guys got some few talented players, but I think they're all mid players. So.
Yeah, we got a lot of mid players. Xantic,
problematic.
Tanner, Symmetrical. Yeah. If only they could form a team of mids. But there you go. To be fair, that's pretty much what EG is now, right? No, I guess. Yeah, they are.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Lina is doing quite some damage, so but Aya is really happy with it. He's denying the full wave of creeps and just chilling. Anyway, I think the Io Gyro kind of just wants to live through laning stage until like level 3. Then they can even think of being aggressive. They hit a very strong peak at level 3. Level 2 Rocket Barrage, level 2 Spirit. That's a dangerous amount of damage.
I mean, I'm looking at this tether right now, and I'm thinking maybe even... No, you definitely need the damage from the spirits, but the fact they don't have the slow on them anymore, and the slow is on the tether, and that doubles up the slow from 8% to 16% at level 2, might actually enable them to get kills a little bit easier if they do go for that one, but we shall see. In combination with the Rocket Barrage certainly would seem tempting. As Aramis coming to follow up on the stun from his teammate there. We haven't really paid much attention to this bottom lane, so let's go have a look. Nefrit and Yol laning up on the Weaver and the Vengeful versus Toby and Solari on the Beastmaster and on the Crystal Maiden. Pretty straightforward lane, I think. There's a little bit of kill potential, a little bit of chase potential. If anybody gets caught out by the fearsome slows of Toby and Solari, they could be in some real bad trouble. Meanwhile, Nefrit and Yol are just hoping to punish any overextensions with this Magic Missile and Sakuchi Chase, and now they're going to make a play onto the Crystal Maiden here, and look at the damage coming out, my god! There you go, a bit of an overextension, gets completely punished with a very easy looking kill there from Wind and Rain.
A lot of minus armor between those two heroes, especially when Weaver goes for this build, 1-1-1, level 3, gets a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, the Swarm combined with the Wave of Terror, it's certainly a powerful combination. Mid lane, meanwhile, 15 CS on the Puck versus 20 of the Kunkka. He's having a pretty nice time in this middle lane. You know, Puck doesn't... Even in lanes where Puck loses them, he's never, like, suffering super hard. He's always going to get something from it. And hopefully, Wish will turn this into some rotations, maybe find success elsewhere on the map, because I don't think there's any way he can come back into this mid lane. But he'll just be able to get what he can from it. Still annoying here, as you see.
Top lane, actually the Radiant's handing a lot of gold.
Oh, bottom lane though, both Nefrit and Toby are going to drop here, so the cores drop and the support's just like, yes, this is our lane now. Let's get some creeps.
I mean, I thought they'll go for CM again as soon as they have Swarm. I mean, we should watch out for this bottom lane. I feel like every time he's a Swarm, they're gonna try to do something, and there's a good chance some of them dies.
Yeah, maybe they might be a little bit more cautious about it since losing Weaver in that engagement, probably not the ideal situation for them. But for sure, Solari is definitely going to be a hero they're wanting to take care of as much as possible as they're going for the runes right now. But Solari is there way before Yol is. Yol is punished. Meanwhile, Toby is also a little bit quicker off the mark. Top lane, everyone's sleeping up here, but eventually they'll get over to these bounty runes and grab them for themselves. And that's going to be one going the way of Wind and Rain, will Viking pick up 3. And Tanner's backing out right now. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Tanner's actually able to find the kill onto Wish here and keeping himself alive with a Fairy Fire. Feels very nice indeed. He didn't even use the boat for this. I don't know how he got this go. Just chased him down.
I probably got a lot of harass beforehand on him, and then just probably hit some torrent.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably amazing play we missed.
Probably. Feels like it.
I'm sorry, Tanner. Anyway, there's aggression bottom on the Venge. They're gonna go in. There's one board, another one in 5 seconds.
Yeah, they don't need it. They just got the right connect. Chop them down with those axes, and Yol will take a full And Nefret's just under tower, hitting creeps in the meantime, but that's there. A lot of kills coming out of this bottom lane now that we hit the higher levels. We'll get a couple of points up in these important spells, such as the boars.
The one important thing we should look for, there's a top lane rotation by Tanner. He has the boat. He's gonna try for a random torrent. He's gonna hit it.
To catch out the Abaddon. And now they look towards Nico as well. The X marks out on Tim and using that creep as a vessel for his Tidebringer. Tanner brings down 2 up in the top lane with a really good rotation. He is certainly controlling the tempo of this game so far. If you can keep this up for the next 10 to 15
the bottom lane,
minutes.
they're going on the bench.
Of course they
Weaver is turning.
Yeah, it's never
Toby
stopping
might
this
be in
top
the
lane, but
trouble.
nice frostbite on Tim. Can they bring down Toby? Nefret also taking some damage here, and then they come out, the stun comes out. Now they look towards Solari, but Solari will get the kill onto the Weaver, but Yol is the victor off this lane, provided this board doesn't... No, board's out of there. And now Yol's like, alright.
What do you do with this 1,000 gold position 5, Yol?
Can't even spend it on wards anymore.
He bought a magic wand and some sentries. Huh? A
What
bit
a baller.
underwhelming. It's so much gold. You would expect him to get, some braid band or something.
Yeah.
Go for carry. Anyway, I wanted to say how Tanner is, as you said, as you expected from him, to control a tempo. He's doing it very well for now. And is he gonna get this poor man, so it's gonna stay on Gyro? I guess Gyro is just gonna keep it. The 6 agi. Feels
Ooh.
good.
They've find 2 neutrals in 1 camp. Delicious neutral items. Puck, by the way, getting the keen optic. This item is really good on him. Just helps with the waning rift range so much.
bottom.
Meanwhile, in the bot
Tanner
lane,
connect.
Nefret gets a kill onto Toby, but in comes Tanner, finding the kill onto the Weaver. The swap comes out. Nefret's still alive, and now with the puck turning up to this one, they might be able to turn this one. Tanner, though, able to get the right click off onto Yol in time. Boogie dies in the top lane, and Wish is just getting himself out of here. Tanner will survive this one, but yeah, meanwhile up top, since the carry was gone, they were able to get the kill off on to Boogie.
Yeah, the board buff was too much for Puck to handle.
Nico wasn't even helping out at bottom, actually. He was just jungling, so his core dies whilst he's How do we feel about this one?
Gotta farm those items,
True, true.
So someone has to hit the jungle creep.
I mean, he got probably the best ring he could find with an arcane rune.
Yeah, Arcane Ring is
Arcane
one
Rings,
of the
yeah.
better tier 1 items.
It's really good, actually. 8 intelligence and 3 armor is crazy good stats.
Right.
It doesn't give much mana, but it gives a little bit. It gives enough. God, this bottom lane is so crazy. Nefret tries to come close and just gets pounded by these boars. He's stuck under his tower. A miserable little bug right now. And with deaths in the top lane as well, it feels like nothing's going their way, and even Wish falling low in mid.
Washed up.
Oh dear. Doesn't feel too great to be a Wind and Rain player right now.
Yeah, they kind of had to... They expected this situation to be other way around, but there's gonna be a 10-minute outpost fight. Maybe they can turn it around here.
Yeah,
If,
Puck's gonna have a haste rune. This could really make a big difference if...
There is a relocate on Aya and Gyro, and they're level 6, level 7.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Viking GG is gonna be pretty strong here. There's almost a Helm of Dominator picked up on Toby. Okay, they're gonna go with Toby bottom. But these boars are level 3. They're gonna go and
in
see
comes
him
the
actually.
Puck with that haste rune.
Let's
It's gonna
go
be
relocate.
Solari, who's dropping down pretty low, but in comes Viking, in from behind. Wish taking damage, but he's got that haste rune, so he's able to get himself away. Meanwhile, Io caught out by the stun. Nefret not so lucky as he gets gunned down by Viking. They're looking for more now, but the cooldown does miss. Nico with the life strike away. Nicely done, catching out Shad. Nico gets his way under the tower. Meanwhile, Tanner goes off to deal with the outpost. Boogie doing the same thing up in the top lane, says going to be 1-for-1, and only resulting onto a kill onto the Weaver. It's good, but it definitely could have been better.
It's very good for Viking GG. They got 3 bounty runes. They got the kill on the Weaver. They got the puck rotation, kind of made it useless.
Yeah,
They're
true.
feeling very good right now. They're having the game in their tempo. As long as trades are at least even, Viking GG is gonna feel much happier. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also look at this, they're turning their victory in the bottom lane into a push at the same time, and the Fortify on Fortify, he's got to hold things nice and neutral as Toby chunks away at this tower. And with the Aura, Tanner, Solari did a lot of damage as well, no one coming in to defend this one, and as you said, you know, they're not just getting the neutral trades, but they're getting the better trades. They managed to take down this tower, you know, they trade it for top tower as well, but this is just feeling really good for them right now. The pressure is really on Wind and Rain to start making some action happen on this map. Start invading some jungles, start trying to disrupt this Iocopter farming duo, but it's easier said than done.
11-minute Iron Talon, a bit late, and they have a Baron to carry it, I guess. Doesn't really want to jungle with a Baron, want to push out some lanes. Okay, they're expecting the mid move from the Viking GG. I think Viking GG is pretty content with just farming up, defending their towers, and once they get the Ags on Gyro, maybe Armlets on Kunkka, they're gonna try for some move. Are they gonna die for this Venge?
Yeah, this is Yol maybe in some trouble, but in comes a relocate from behind as well, so Viking really committing to this one, but oh my god, yeah, Yol is definitely dead. Trying to go for the swap play, meanwhile, oh no, they managed to get the Roar off onto the Weaver, and that's gonna be a second kill. Wind and Rain take a very sloppy engagement here as they try to TP heroes in to defend the Vengeful Spirit, but end up just giving an extra kill here. Viking are in a dominant position in this one.
I guess even being an aggressor is nice for them. They're kind of dictating the tempo and controlling the outcome in a way. They're gonna wrap around the Boogie bottom. Can they threaten him? With these two boars, they're pretty dangerous, but I don't think they're gonna have enough damage to kill him. Not without Roar.
Yeah.
With Roar, maybe, but not even then.
It's not really worth it, I don't think. Just killing off Boogie, he's so underfarmed. He's not really a hero right now.
This mid-tier 1 tower is insanely huge. Okay, Tana might try for a solo kill mid. No, he's gonna go against it. The tier 1 tower, losing it for Wind and Rain means they're probably never getting this enemy tier 1. Because if you lose your own, it's so hard to push the other one. And without getting this tier 1 mid tower of Viking GG, they're just gonna have a free time farming up the Gyro. He has the Ags finished on the courier in minute 13. Hey, it's scary.
That's a pretty good timing on an Aghanim Scepter. That is a pretty good timing. Gonna help him farm up just all the faster.
He's even gonna go Maelstrom right after, so he's gonna get insanely farm this game. Like we're talking some 70-minute BKB, 70-minute, 20-minute BKB Maelstrom Axe, which is insanely good.
Yeah, Shad looking to break some records this game apparently as they come flying into this one with a really early time on the Aghanim Scepter, one of the earliest I've ever seen. And gonna keep up farming pace up. Meanwhile, the rest of his team trying to make lots of space for him as 3. They're looking onto Boogie here. This is going to be the target they go for. He pops the borrowed time a little bit early maybe, but also tanking up. But Channa, he was patient. He waited for the boat. It lands onto Nikor actually. Maybe not the target he expected. He's just really far forward in this fight. And now with the relocate in, Shad's able to come. The cleanup crew is here. They've taken down Nikor and in comes a Coil, but Wish might have given his life for this one as Rocket Barrage finishes the job. Tanner getting the kill onto Boogie as well. And there are just 3 heroes dropping. And a disconnect from Nefrit as well. Hoping this isn't emotions getting high, just a disconnect, just a technical disconnect, nothing to suggest otherwise. But still, a really amazing fight once again for Viking here as they are just constantly pounding down, doubling up on every single engagement by TPing in this gyrocopter and just unleashing hell upon them. And now this bottom tier 2 tower is almost certainly going to fall as well under the power of the Beastmaster.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they want basically on the side of Viking GG, and they're really just having a perfect game on most of their cores. All of their cores are doing exactly what they want, and they're not even being forced to do anything. They're just doing it naturally. They're just farming on the Gyro, and Kunkka's making a rotation. They see opportunity, they just reload, get a kill, and they go back to farming.
You know, I was about to say the IO is just enabling this gyrocopter so much to be able to be a factor both in the game and also in the fights as well. You know, just farming, turning up to fights, going back to farming. It's really efficient. Clumsy net drops them as well. Aramis can grab that one. Not a bad item. Oh, and a Pupil's Gift as well. That's a really good item for the gyrocopter. That's a fantastic item for him.
Yeah, these are. I mean, the purple gift is like. I mean, too much maybe. Too much.
Pupil's Gift is pretty insane.
It's only 15 minutes in the game. It gives 13 stats. They're gonna go on Boogie again. Boogie just constantly playing in the same position. But it's hard. It's just hard for Radiant to be aggressive this game. They don't really have much tools to do it. Boogie's gonna get roared and it's gonna get
up after the borrowed time, and that's gonna put an end to him. Another kill onto the Abaddon, who's just had one of the worst Abaddon games I've seen in a while. He has got absolutely nothing yet to have an item in this game. Just sitting with phase boots and Iron Talon, which he picked up from the jungle, doesn't really count. Should have the Vanguard online eventually, but yeah, it still feels like a long way off. And the tier 2 towers are dropping, and the rest of the towers as well. Nothing is safe right now. The Vikings just walk all over Wind and Rain. And relocate up to the top lane. Yol's gone in deep, but he's going to pay the price, I think, as Shat and Aramis chase him down and get themselves another one and keep this tier 2 tower alive. Meanwhile, Neekwa going for the immediate TP out. Tanner thinking of making his way over, but he'll just go back towards the mid lane. But meanwhile, there is a rotation coming in. They're looking to punish Shat for this one, dropping the cooldown, trying to get himself away, but Nefrit is keeping up pace right now. Aramis grabs that regen rune. He has it in the bottle, so when he gets rid of this bug, he can probably heal Gyro up straight away, but Gyro's absolutely fine anyways. Hardly taking any damage at all from this engagement. That's the mech. That is the power of the healing which the IO can put out. So already just TP's in to try and punish this relocating Iocopter as they come back into the enemy jungle and they still get absolutely nothing for it.
I'm trying to think of item or level for the Wind and Rain which will make them like have opportunity to come back into this game, you know, take a fight on their terms. But it's hard. Both all three of their cores are kind of playing a catch-up.
Yeah.
In a game they were supposed to dominate.
Yeah. We already said, you know, Wind and Rain, this isn't a lineup which wants to be playing from behind. This is a lineup which wants to be finding kills, finding aggression, and just snowballing through this match, and that's just not what's happening here.
They're gonna go for a top tier 1, it seems. I mean, this is the timing we already talked about. They already kind of are there. Oh, you got a one brace as well. Gyro looks scary. This is the timing. As I said, they're just gonna group up in this dead ball. They're gonna take every fight Radiant wants to give them.
Absolutely. And once again, hello Abaddon. Oh, you thought you could do anything on this map? No, you're getting run down again, my friend. There are only 4 seconds left on the reload. Yeah, they get it in time. And
they're just gonna move into the rush.
Whatever. Yeah.
With this lineup, they're even gonna take rush in like 15 seconds. They're much faster.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. Roshan is dead. That is the power of the Beastmaster, right? I think Roshan needs a buff, really.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. With all these like kind of new items, because Rush gets stronger over time, but people get with the outpost XP and the jungle items, people get stronger faster now.
Yeah.
So Roshan needs to get stronger faster as well. I've seen so many times in this patch Rush just dying like this in 10 seconds. It's like very early stage of the game.
Yeah, and you know, you can definitely say it's partly due to the heroes which are popular right now. Beastmaster, obviously, with its aura, makes taking Roshan very nice.
Tuskar, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But they're just gonna go mid here. I honestly don't see what's stopping them.
TA as well, another huge Roshan taker. But yeah, let's focus on the game right now. So we do have a team going high ground and swap onto the Iocopter. Okay, that's pretty good. The Io is dropped very quickly here. He is out of the equation, so Shat now without his steroid. They can maybe
he has a buyback and relocate if they decide to chase him.
Yeah, that's true. That's a powerful combination of spells, but they will repel Viking from their base for now.
Okay, there's a line drone there. I'm gonna try to leave the base. But I was ready. I was telling his team, I'm ready, guys.
Yeah,
They try
I'll
to chase
come
and
back.
come
They
down.
don't even need him though. I mean, they just chop down Abaddon, and the rest of the Wind and Rain are just like, yeah, we're gonna go and I don't know, get bounty runes, chill out. It doesn't matter. Abaddon has to buy back into this one. Viking finally backing out, but how long for? Pings are at top. They want the tier 2. That's going to be the next port of call. So get yourself some bounty runes, get yourself a bit of money, farm some creep camps up on the way, and then head over and take that tier 2 up at top.
I guess Wind and Rain could look for Aegis to expire and the BKB Weaver timing, where they can take a fight. Maybe kill the IOCM first with the Weaver. But I feel by that point, he's like, if Gyro is close to Weaver and Weaver opens
Radiant's
BKB,
top tower is under attack.
he has to run. Because Gyro is just gonna go through it. Doesn't care with his double attack and all the items he has. He's just gonna, make him run. Not being able to use his BKB. But they'll just go mid again. Probably this time I was gonna stay a bit more careful.
yeah, don't want that coil swap combo coming off on him again. The stuns are coming out onto the Gyrocopter here, and they're doing a lot of damage. Of course, Io doesn't have the capabilities to make him take less damage anymore. It just gives HP regen, but whenever he wants to pop that river charge, he certainly can, but decides to go for the regen rune instead. Unfortunately, he was on pretty high HP, so it runs out.
Probably auto pop. Yeah, they're just gonna get the melee Rex here.
Radiant's middle barracks has
The
fallen.
range, no contest. They're still waiting on the BKB.
Middle barracks
He
has
just
fallen.
finished it up. They're gonna try to fight for the second lane.
Radiant's top tower is
I guess they're gonna smoke. They're gonna go around, and they're gonna try to catch the CM and Io.
They are. Oh, nice turret comes in, catching out Wish. Oh dear me, the puck caught out well and truly, and now they look towards Boogie as well. He's got the burrow time, so a bit of a tricky target, but Tanner with the BKB, happy to sit on the front line. Shad is taking damage right now. It seems that he's just giving his life to get some damage on the racks. Nefrit pops some time lapse as well to get his HP back. He's got this BKB whenever he wants to pop it and try and go for something here. Maybe they can get the swap off onto the Io, but without their puck, they're lacking a lot of damage and disable, and they don't want to engage onto this right now, so they are letting yet another barracks fall. Viking, without their Aegis, will probably leave it here as Solari did look behind a little bit, but a little bit of the cooldown. Jumping forward here, Shad, not afraid to aggressively defend the Crystal Maiden. Find ladyship as now the stun comes down, and maybe to looking to make something happen. It's back up the Gyro sensation fight, but the wall comes down onto the Nefrit. He doesn't have the health to survive this one. BKB doesn't do enough. The GGs are called. The game is over, and Viking get revenge for game number 1 and squash Wind and Rain in style.
Very convincing fashion. Like GG takes this Gyro game. Something very popular before seems to be coming back with these IO improvements, I would call them.
Oh god, not again. Improvements, really? To the overcharge?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, also you have to consider the jungle items, which benefit him a lot, and you need to consider the mech is really cheap now and easy to build.
Okay.
So these things add up and let him like be a useful hero early on, which before he sometimes needed too much time come online.
True, and this Holy Locket is so good for Io now. It's actually a very, very strong item on the hero. Him and Necro, I think. Yeah, all right. Well, I didn't see much use of the clumsy net from Crystal Maiden, unfortunately, but all the same, a good game all around. I think, yeah, I was quite impressed with the pacing of Viking this game. You know, sometimes we see teams have an advantage, fail to push it, try and look for their next Iceman, and doing so end up throwing the game away. But Viking, despite being the team which had the slower tempo lineup, once they got ahead, they did not give Wind and Rain space to breathe and were able to close out the game in a pretty convincing fashion. So that's going to draw the series 1-1 and put an end to this match, which means we go on to our next series. And that next series is going to be Alliance versus Sword Dark. Now, Sword Dark are the ex-Hipmaniacs team, and they gave Secret a run for their money yesterday today, so I don't think it's unfair to say that they could pose a real threat for Alliance if Alliance aren't on a game today, so stay tuned for that. Afterwards, we've got Viking versus Secret, then Sword Dark versus Wind and Rain, and we'll be ending the day with Alliance versus Team Secret. So some really fantastic games to come, ending with that finale of Alliance versus Secret, the two giants of this group, by which point, if they've won all their games, it probably won't matter too much, but still exciting to watch these guys play and see what their understandings of the meta are against one another. Milan will be joining me for one more game for the Alliance versus Sword Dark game coming up next. I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you did, throw us a follow on Twitter, and we'll be back very shortly for the next match.